Nami Mid has been one of my favorite picks for a very long time, pretty much since she came out in Season 3, or was it Season 2? Pre-season, maybe? I just remember that Nami came out, and then she had a login screen, very nice login screen, for about 2 days before being overtaken by, I think, Worlds and Vi's release. Anyway, trivia aside, I say that she's been one of my favorite picks, but obviously I haven't been picking her very much lately, and this is my first game of Nami Mid before the break, and in Season 11, I've played probably less than 5, or maybe just about 5 games of Nami Mid this whole time. She is fun, first and foremost. Definitely fun is the primary reason why you played Nami Mid rather than anything actually viable. But since a change that was made to her a few seasons ago, where her E can apply on AoE abilities, including her own, like her bubble, I find that her offensive kind of ability is a little better than before. Now, I take a lot of damage from... Wait, no. It was the previous game where I fought a good Akali. This one is... This one's just a normal Akali. So this is quite an interesting game, and I did take a quick peek at the score, and it's a lot closer than some of these other replay commentaries. Speaking of which, these replay commentaries really feel like I'm making League content back in the day, before I was doing live streams and such. Speaking of which, I'm doing live streams again starting tomorrow. Starting today, actually, I would have just finished the stream by the time this video comes out, but there'll be another one tomorrow, as of this video's both recording and release. So we've started Bubble, and it's a really nice idea to try and land bubbles when someone tries the last hit, for example. Just your usual kind of harass, and then you can usually get an auto or two off, and then proc Electrocute, which I recommend if you want to do some damage in the laning phase, or do any damage at all. You can alternatively go for Comet or something. If you want to remain somewhat a support, I guess you could try Airy, but go support for that, I'd say. So, as mentioned, she can apply her E on her Q and her W, so it is a nice idea to use it before you cast a Q. And a very good idea, for example, when clearing the casters, to press E on yourself and then cast Q on the minions. It's very much worth it if you learn to hold Alt and then E. That's how you can self-cast really quickly rather than clicking on yourself. Just saves a fragment of time, bit of your mouse focus. So this lane's been quite easy. I do miss some CS here and there, down to my own inability, and just by a little kind of, I guess, read or prediction, we get a nice little Electrocute proc on Akali, and that makes her run. And then we don't need to talk about that. I take no credit for that at all. Just let them burn and think about what they've done. Apparently she teleported, I think. She has teleport, right? She must do. Yeah, she does. But it didn't show up because League replays are broken, kind of like how I let you guys point out the literal holes in the map sometimes. Replays are weird, aren't they? Okay, so you might be wondering, what do you build on Nami Mid? I have nothing conclusive because I've played like 5 games this entire season, but I think you can do pretty well with Luden's Echo or Everfrost. Sorry, not Luden's, Liandry's. Because Liandry's gives the ability haste, which is always so useful for their support like this. Now, this Akali was trying to do what the other Akali, the other game did to me, only this one sucked. And takes an electric trade, barely trades with me, and I heal most of it off anyway. But Liandry's gives that ability haste passive. It gives damage where Nami doesn't exactly have damage ratios. She does, but they're kind of weak, as you'd imagine. It mostly comes from her E combined with her Q and then her W on top. And when you have enough AP, your W, which normally has a kind of decrease, you can see it in the left there as we kill Akali again for fun. There you go. Thunderlord's Decree. Shaco also comes in for some moral support. Unfortunately, there is no one there. You can see at the bottom of Nami's W that she will get currently minus 11% effectiveness on her W with each bounce. This can actually, as you can see, scale up, and if you do scale it up enough, it will go into the positives, which is decent. And I don't know, it's just a cool fact. I don't know how effective that would be in actual gameplay, but you know what? I did a lot of healing in this game, if I do recall, later on, pairing up with the Urgot in a lot of the fights, kind of like a medic-heavy combo. Oh, he takes a free hit there. Not very much. What I recommend when playing Nami as a kind of ability rotation is use E on yourself and then don't Q immediately unless you're 100% confident. But hopefully will see me do it. But just kind of E the enemy And then Q, well, they're slow. It's much easier to hit. And then you can just auto W after that to proc your Thunderlords or whatever. I mean, Electrocute, I'm really living in the past now. And then you can have a lot of fun with that. The kind of goal with it is, I guess you're just playing a mage with utility. Kind of like a bootleg Orianna. Only Orianna isn't a fish. And I think that's a good enough reason to play Nami instead. For me personally, I just really have always liked Nami's playstyle. She's actually one of my favorite supports and definitely my go-to support for actually playing support. And when I like a support champion enough, I just gotta play them mid, you know? So Nocturne walks away from this kill, but luckily Senna was hit with a really nice W around the wall there that helps us catch them and lands that last bit of damage to kill the Akali. She's now 0-3. And if I'm right with my timing and memory, this is when she goes missing. If we're looking at the mini-map. And he goes top lane. He's done with this Nami bullshit. And Vladimir with his 1-0 has come to play. Now, Vladimir's a bit more dangerous. He does have that sustain. He can pull through a bubble. And will be a little more difficult to deal with than the Akali. So, if I had to summarize kind of Nami's purpose, she's not quite like an Orianna. Orianna has so much more scaling, but she has a really good laning phase. As with most supports, her damage is actually pretty damn decent in the early game, especially when you have something like Thunderlords, just to give that extra bit of help. Obviously, these days there are way more champions with way more damage, but let's just forget about that for now. Her ratios are not the best, so she doesn't scale like, you know, Lux or even Orianna would. So really, if you want to try hard, you should just play Orianna, but Orianna's not fish. You can see here, I do this thing where I E. Well, we've already exhausted his pool, and that's what Nocturne was waiting for. I do ult a bit late, and then I use W to take the kill through Nocturne. There's a really nice thing to know, by the way, is how W works. So when W hits an enemy first, it will then bounce to an ally and then hit another enemy. So you hit an enemy twice, hit an ally once. If you use it on an ally, it's the opposite. So you'll hit an ally, then it'll bounce to a single enemy and then hit another ally. So you either get 2 heals if you heal someone with the target, or 2 attacks if you attack someone. It can't bounce from ally to ally, so don't try to do that. But once you know that, then you can try to kind of extend your range through your allies. It's really nice. Also, you might have noticed, those of you with a keen eye, that in the laning phase, I'm actually healing myself first with W sometimes when I'm shooting, so I'm self-casting W. You can do that by holding Alt as well. And this does, again, we've got this -6% bounce now that we've got some AP. That does reduce the damage you deal, but it gives a bigger heal. And also, it prevents the chance of you not getting healed at all. Because if you W someone, they walk away, and you walk away, then the W might not be in range to bounce back to you and heal you. So that's something to keep in mind. So if you truly want damage, you should cast it on the enemy. So if you've bubbled them, you're doing your combo, cast it straight on the enemy. As you can see, I did that thing that I mentioned, where I E myself, auto attack, slow him, and then land a bubble. And then that succeeded. I got a combo, but then Zilean comes in to help, so I do flash away in a bit of desperation. Now, Zilean does kind of go very ham, so I just decide I'll just full combo him. And that does take his ultimate, because I'm an idiot and I forgot that thing existed. Well, I didn't. I remembered it as soon as I did the combo, but oh well. That's something that he can't use anymore. I think I'm following a tower. There we go. That's gone, so hopefully that'll help our bot lane. Bot lane are doing barely just okay, just 20 CS above the Aphelios. There's the pool, but this is okay. Nocturne's here to help again. It was intentional. And I do flash out just to make sure he can't get any more damage, because I never ever remember how Vladimir's ultimate works. Can I get a description? Oh, I can. 10% increased damage from all sources. And then they just take damage. Okay. It is a bit like Deathmark, but like the reverse. Okay, cool. So I was right to run the heck away. Now, Vladimir is very angry at all the jungle attention I'm receiving. Kind of like Thresh as another kind of support champion out of their lane. Nami's incredible amount of CC, just like any CC mage really, there's nothing special about her. It's really good to be ganked because you have 2 knockups in ultimate and Q, You've got a really easy to apply slow that can be applied 3 times with E, and of course you can apply your E to an ally. And you might be wondering, when do you apply E to an ally rather than yourself? Almost any time in the late game, it can be better to do it, but you have to be able to trust the person you're putting it on to actually apply the stacks, because sometimes you're going to want to put it on yourself so you can land it with a bubble or with your W. See, I've put it on Senna here because she's got way more range, she's way more ahead. And we do try. Wait. Where'd he go? He's just disappeared. He's alive though. We didn't quite get him. Alright, and this is when the Shaco with his 2-0 does come in and it ends me. Now I remember what made this game so difficult and why it's not a complete stomp. Yikes. She lives though. For now. Interesting little fight we can watch whilst I respawn. That bomb will go off and Senna is dead. Brilliant. So now we've got Sork Boots. You might have noticed we got Sork Boots kind of early, I think, because I wanted to snowball my damage, and Magic Pen will help a lot with Nami because her base damage is actually fairly decent compared to her AP ratios. But the Liandry's kind of adds that extra dot damage, which gives damage that Nami normally cannot do. And it gives a ratio for that. And works against people that stack health, like this Vladimir here. Overall, it's just a really good ability. And the ability haste is really nice stats. You can alternatively try using something like Ludens for the Magic Pen. That will help as well. Typically, you do want the mana because you will be spamming these abilities a lot, especially come late game when you have more haste. But overall, I found Liandry's is the best. But you could use Everfrost for the extra stun, extra AP. That will scale your W even more, and slow, of course. She also gets more move speed on passive based on AP. We currently are giving 7. Okay, we can't hold shift. And you get more slow on your E as well, which is nice. It's just a nice little bonus. Like I said, nothing phenomenal here. Nothing absolutely meta breaking. It's just off meta. A lot of the time, because Nami also are fast but not exactly strong, she doesn't have high AD, I do use E to last hit quite a lot, especially on those pet cannons, which are always miss whenever we press start stream. I apologize. I'm currently drinking my coffee. I haven't drank it yet. So clearly this commentary is being slightly affected, but that's okay. We've cleared the mid, go down to bot to help them with what's already pushing quite hard. And I was ready to do a bit of a dive here, but luckily I am Nami. I do have the range. This ult's going to hit both of them. Noxton's going to go in on it as well. And we just destroy them with that little double knock up there. Nami ultimates are so good because they are very long range and their speed isn't that bad. It looks like you can dodge it and you see it from a mile away, but quite often they don't actually see it, even if you shoot it from really far, until it's like come over the wall, unless it's too late or something like that. You can do long range Nami ults even just to kind of zone, if that makes sense. Long range Nami ults are a thing that you can do, and it's really fun. You don't have to be close range to guarantee it, though most of the time when I want to kill someone, if it's not viable for me to just straight ult them because I'll just dash away, sometimes I will just do E, Q to try and hit them with the slow and then catch them with the Q, and then whilst they're in the Q, then I'll ultimate so they take the full wave of damage. Its damage is alright. You can see the ratio is only 60%, which is quite low for an ultimate, but it does also give a massive slow and speeds up all your allies, which also scales with AP. Again, Nami's damage isn't the best, but her utility is great, and she scales with her utility quite decently with AP, actually. Also increasing damage on E. E is actually probably her best AP ratio. You can see it's 20%, but that does work 3 times and does also work on area effects. You can see that you deal 56% to non-champions when doing area effects. So actually, if you use area effects damage on champions, you get the full benefit, and you could even multiply the benefit. So if you do use her E on your ultimate and you hit all 5 enemy champions, that should work. According to how it's written here anyway, there might be some weird thing in the rulebook. That proves that wrong, but until then, landing big boy bubbles and big boy ults is really effective with Nami with her E, but you can alternatively give it to someone who can land that kind of AoE damage much better or much easier, so long as it is a single cast, and so it doesn't kind of use multiple charges of the E, if that makes sense at all. Now you can see Shaco is 7-0 with AD Shaco, I believe, Halo Blades. Yep, and he kills me. And in fact, I will die to Shaco quite a lot if memory serves. To which point I will buy a Zonia's and be very frustrated when it doesn't work. He just destroys Senna again. And I think this game is a lot longer than I remember. Bear in mind, let's speed up a bit. But the enemy team did get Baron as well with a lot of these victories. We do an ultimate, just kind of medium range. Shaco starts smacking the tower. Start giving a bit of... Yeah, there's a tower. You can see it's just kind of hole there. Shaco even assassinating Big Boy Urgot. Going in on this Vladimir just to realize the entire squad is there with Shaco probably around the corner. Kind of scary. Gonna back up a bit. I think quite a lot of this gets to a bit of a stalemate, as my mid lane becomes a war zone rather than a farming zone, where I occasionally die to Shaco. I wonder when the next time will be. As for Nami builds, we have built Cosmic Drive because we want as much ability haste as possible to spam out those knockups and all of that utility that Nami has. Cosmic Drive is a really good item for that. If you build it second after your Mythic, it'll be enough to proc it. So long as you have 160 ability power, so any first item that gives 80 AP will be enough to proc your Cosmic Drive, and pretty much all, if not completely all, of the Mythics will do that for you. Okay. As mentioned, my next item is going to have to be Zonia's to react to this this guy here. Now I try to bubble it because I think that's not possibly in Fear Rage. Of course it is. Now I do have to just kind of end Vladimir as he's getting a little too close for comfort. Shaco does, however, go a little too hard and does die to my team here because his team is not quite with him. Kali has resurfaced and dies just like she did in the mid lane. Brilliant. This was a nice turn of events for my team. Most of the enemies aren't doing too well except the Shaco. So a lot of this comes down to how much influence Shaco can have over the game at this point in time, and if his other team members can kind of come online by then, like Vladimir and Aphelios with all 200 years. You also see that I eat myself often just to get that extra move speed. The cooldown is pretty low when you've got the Cosmic Drive. And of course the Liandry's as well. Shaco walks in here, so I choose to combo him a bit. And then he goes into a clone. Of course, throws the clone at us. Which is such an annoying play pattern because it feels like it just has no cooldown. And you just take a fear, and if it's AP, you take a ton of damage. So irritating. Luckily, he's AD though, so we don't have to worry about that too much. Push up this turret. We can see that people are coming. Vladimir's there, Shaco's up there. Slow him down. Shaco is here and has just annihilated Senna again. W directly on the Shaco to do enough damage. Walking back in, that ult is going to hit my allies at least, and crash right before Zilean, so it gave us move speed. It didn't completely miss. Unfortunately, Vladimir does actually survive the Urgot ult because of... W hit the blast plant, nice. He survives the Urgot ult because of Zilean ult, but I could just chase him. He does give us a nice laugh from the blood pool. And we call a Baron here. Very much a bit of a yeet. Aphelios does catch us, and I'm getting really, really low. And bam. I forgot why we called it. Because it didn't work at all. Oh well, we'll never know what madness lies behind my normal games. Normal game, by the way. This is ranked, in case you were for some reason under that impression. Oh, this happens. Now this time, I genuinely didn't press Zonia's. I just kind of got killed and was like, alright, I'm dead. I walked up. I made the mistake of existing somewhere beyond my nexus in Shaco's presence. We are absolutely attempting to not die too much, and hopefully you'll see my you might feel some of my internalized rage at some of these Shaco deaths. Both teams at 2 dragons. We're coming down for the 3rd for either team. My whole team is here. I'm worried about the Shaco. The Shaco does a bunch of damage to the Ezreal, and then we'll ult as a last-ditch effort to get out, but you can't dodge an Ezreal ult like that. You have to time it a bit later for that. Aphelios begins his 200 years. Begins his 200 fucking years. He even has the zillion thing, so it's just like, I can't do shit. I miss my bubble anyway. I get out of there. To be fair, I didn't actually see what Aphelios really did. He just seemed to be life-stealing up to high hell. Because we don't have Grievous Wounds at this point in time. I'm worried about not dying to Shaco. But that did get kind of scary. Aphelios now with 7 kills. And we know how much that can blow up. With my Zonia's complete, I can finally get that Oblivion Orb. That I very quickly realized we needed in that fight. Senna was fighting the Baron. I think she was fighting someone else, really. But it looks that way. I also landed on completely no one but myself, so it technically didn't miss. But it certainly gave the enemy the spooks, and they walk away. Now I start healing the Urgot, and these heals are really not bad. I can kind of use the front line to bounce my Ws onto, and if you have enough AP, it will start to actually gain value the more bounces. So if you heal an ally and then it bounces onto an enemy, that will actually do a sizable amount of damage, or at least 10% more right now with 327 AP. So if you can get a death cap, which I can't right now because Shaco exists and Aphelios is life stealing, then you can absolutely get some crazy Nami W value. At least you can in my head. This was it. This was it. This was the moment. Nocturne does kill the Shaco and does actually get away. Very nice retribution for what was a fucking bullshit kill. Excuse me, I did press Zonia's there. I'm still angry. I was waiting for it. I even say in all chat because it's a normal game, and you know, I use all chat in normal games. The only time you should use all chat, really. Besides trying to distract the enemies in ranked games, with which Pokemon is their favorite. Nocturne yeets. I do ult to assist, and that ult will collide with Vladimir just as he comes out of the blood pool, which is quite nice. Gets us the kill. But yeah, I was so sure I pressed Zonia's because I was waiting for Shaco. I pressed it twice even, and then it didn't happen. I will refer to that as Tryndamere syndrome, which Tryndamere players, I'm sure you know what I'm on about. We go for a Baron here, assuming that none of them can stop us. As your ults towards the Shaco. The Shaco's getting very low and has a zillion ult. Has a little bubble around him. Enemy team are watching, but what can they actually do? Someone is teleporting in. It must be Akali. I do ult towards the jungle entrance to see what can be done. I've lost track of where I am, to be honest. I think I'm dead. Oh no, I'm very much alive. And then I start medicing, boxing this Urgot to give him some heals as he beats down their support, like any proud Juggernaut should. With the main strength of their, I was going to say their army, their team dead, we push forward with the Baron and start actually taking steps towards winning the game. Very nice. We'll go ahead and claim our 4th dragon and get the Infernal Soul. GG, basically-ish. I'm still worried about dying to Shaco, though. I finished the Morello, and I've even bought an elixir going for this final fight. I don't remember buying it, though. But I've got it. Kali takes a ton of damage in her Shroud. And as Nami Mid, I am still Eing myself more than I am allies, because I can just rely on myself a lot more than I can rely on allies, because I don't directly control the allies. Do kill Shaco. We killed the Claude and Shaco within pretty decent time. And we've got the heals to get Nocturne in there. And he doesn't have to care too much. And he has his own life steal as well. You can see Aphelios looking to go 200 years. I missed my bubble because he doesn't run away, as I'd think. So here's Azonia's just to prevent me from dying. Zilean will ult just to stall a little bit whilst we take the Nexus. And Zilean will survive. And Vladimir with a final bit of salt for us. Not that I didn't try to match him with salt throughout the game. But that's how it ends at 40 minutes 42, 38 to 33 with 4 dragons to 2. And a 11k gold lead almost. That was a very fun game. Obviously, it's not a show of power. It's just a show of how cool Nami Mid can be if you want to give it a go. Damage does kind of go down, but those E changes really helped a lot with any kind of success with Nami, and I can play her much more competently than a lot of other supports in mid lane. Possibly including Thresh, even. But very good fun. If you want to play her, I recommend Liandry's as your mythic, and go for a Cosmic Drive, go for a lot of ability haste. But if you are feeling a bit like a mad lad, you can absolutely go for a Death Cap. Of course, get Oblivion Orb when necessary. Sork Boots, you can go for Lucids instead if you want, especially if you feel like being more supportive. And if the enemy is stacking Magic Resist, if you do have a significant amount of magic damage on your team, then you should probably go Void Staff. But even if you don't go Void Staff, you're still supporting your team. It's not that bad. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this replay commentary. Tomorrow there will be live stuff, and there will be a Twitch stream, rather. Can't guarantee there's going to be a live commentary tomorrow, but there probably won't be actually. Wait, when is this uploading? Hang on a minute. This is uploading on Monday. There will already have been a stream. Oh, I don't want to go back and edit it all. Sorry if I've confused you, because this is clearly uploading on Monday. I'll put a little thing at the beginning. You'll have seen it. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed, and I'm back to streaming League. Hi, and thanks for watching, and thanks for supporting the channel. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have fun out there.